Perfect.
On for us. Okay, so everybody should see a notice now. Welcome everyone. It is not the first one this year actually, so I will still mention Happy New Year, and hopefully you will get a very good one this year. As you can see, we already have our guest speakers with us, but please bear with me first. Announcement from InterManager. So first of all, Mark is not with us today. Mark is flying today and asked me to excuse and pass his apologies, then he cannot be with us. I've got a list of things which I would like all of us to be aware. First of all, I don't know whether you saw, but you should have seen a message from us asking cooperation for enclosed space competition. We are asking seafarers and superintendents or whoever is actually available and interested in enclosed space competition. We are asking for solutions, we are asking for advice, comments, whatever. There are prizes there as well. So if you haven't received it, get in touch. I will try to do that with you, send you over more information. Now, getting into COVID issues. First of all, again, thank you very much for responding to my message, providing your statistics. I'm chasing some companies still the full report, but I can report to you now that the Neptune declaration is at level of 60%. Members of InterManager are today 73% of vaccinated seafarers on board. We are not as good with those who are at home. We are 61%. Interestingly, we've got 88% of people vaccinated in the office. Offices leading on vaccination are obviously Singapore, 100%, and Qatar. And the others are hiding behind GDRP and so on and so forth. But I think we are getting there on all three levels. There is a bad news, and well, we will see whether it is a very bad news or is just bad news. European Commission is talking about reducing months for the COVID passports to 9 months validity. So we are having a meeting tomorrow, and I will report back to you. Either we'll put a pressure on European Commission, or maybe we'll find other solution. So I'm aware of that. Thank you for flagging this up with us. And as soon as I know, I will report back to you. We went back to all of you asking to participate in a survey organized by Sam from Splash 24. He's asking about your experience and your masters and chief engineers experience with ports in COVID time, especially the time when it comes to the garbage and reception facilities. 2 weeks from now, on our 60-minute meeting, 23rd one, we will be talking about whistleblowing. So I invited experts on this, and you're probably aware, and if you are not, then be aware that European Commission just decided from the 1st of January that all shipping, all European companies should have a whistleblowing procedure, and we are no different. So InterManager is tackling this issue now on your behalf, and we will produce some procedures. We'll see how it goes and which way we shall go with that. You will be seeing soon message from me regarding insurance for senior officers, that's masters and chief engineers, because as we all aware, P&I clubs do not provide civil liability for our senior officers. Therefore, there is a discussion which I'm participating on your behalf, and I would like to know your opinion. So there will be a message from me very shortly. And I participated in the industry COVID bi-weekly meeting today, where we were sharing all sorts of information. And as far as our members are concerned, I can tell you that we seem to be probably one of the better organized organizations, because I don't get any reports of us having major issues. Others do, especially those who employ Kiribatis, for example. The saga continues. We are talking about different vaccination regimes and everything, but when I'm talking to our members, all seem very, or rather happy with the arrangements we have. So that's all from me as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very quick, 5 minutes, I like that. I'll open the floor. Is there anything which resonates with you, or is there anything you would like me to be aware or we should raise, we should discuss? I'm waiting for the yellow hand to be waved at me. Nothing. Okay. Therefore, we've got two guests today who will be talking about the alcohol testing on board of the ships. We've got Martin and Adam with us. I believe Martin will start and Adam will do the show. So, gents, over to you, and I will tell you whether we can see your screen or not. So, Adam?
Yeah, so I'm first, thank you, Kuba, for the opportunity. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Me, myself, and Adam, we are owners and inventors of KNOX vessel and crew safety solution. And I'll just give the grounds to Adam and let him do this magic. And thank you for that.
Okay, and also big thanks and best wishes for the upcoming year for all the participants of this conference. Thank you for the opportunity for us to show what we have here for you. And let me just share my screen with you as I will briefly introduce the presentation of our solution. Okay, so I will start right here. Regarding the official statistics that we can get from the IMO, alcohol can be directly linked to around 15% of all the accidents that happen on the sea and in the maritime industry. So actually, if we are talking about such a huge amount of risk taken and the risk that can be mitigated and somehow avoided, we really wanted to look into this opportunity because, as this map shows, no one is actually no region and no culture is actually immune for this kind of danger. And what were the design principles that we were at some point as an IT and manufacturing company wanted to address with our design? Right now, when you wish to perform an alcohol testing on board, you either call your vessel and ask a specific person to handle this test on their own. First, you have to have lots of trust into the people that are actually handling this procedure, and this is the place that the human factor plays a significant role, because they know each other quite well. They work together for many years sometimes, and they need to feel the power to use their authority one over another, or just to handle the actual discomfort of addressing your own friends to test them directly. So this was the first step to address. And when you perform a standard port tests, you simply, as a crew member that has an alcohol issue or simply likes to drink, you just avoid drinking 1 day prior to entering port. And as these tests cannot be handled on a high frequency due to the costs, the results from those tests, as they provide some level of the safety, this is not a level of safety that can be sufficient to address this issue precisely. So let us show you the short video that was produced together with our first customer, with CM for their crewmen.
Each newly arrived crew member is required to register in the system and perform the first test. This procedure is called boarding. It is very simple and does not take very much time. Search for your name on the existing crew list previously introduced by managers. Register your characteristic data that will be used for each subsequent test.
Put your ID.
Firstly, registration by the individual, designated only for your RFID reader. Then, do the same by placing your finger on the fingerprint reader.
Index finger on the reader.
The device will inform you that registration is complete. Now you can start the first test. By selecting the Daily Test function, you start the testing process.
Welcome to
As
KNOX.
before, select your name from the crew list saved on your device. The captain will provide you with an individual mouthpiece. Carry out tests
Please
only
wait.
with your own personal one. Maintaining a high level of hygiene is absolutely essential. Choose the form of your identification. You can either use the RFID reader assigned to
your
you
ID
or
on the
use your
card
own
reader.
fingerprint. The choice is yours. When the device confirms its readiness for the test, start the test immediately by blowing air into the tube. Remember, use your own mouthpiece only. At this point, the device will take a photo of you, which is another element that confirms your identity.
Result negative.
The device
Thank
will
you.
confirm to you that the test is finished. All elements are recorded in real time, both on the device and via the internet in the cloud, which allows managers to access them at any time. The whole process, in addition, is controlled by a CCTV camera. Each crew member is required to perform 2 tests every day. The flexible form of carrying them out does not interfere with the daily rhythm of work or periods of rest of the crew. Let's check it.
Welcome to KNOX. Put your ID on the card reader. Start blowing. Please wait. Result negative. Thank you.
The test took less than half a minute, which is really very little, and most importantly, it did not burden anyone with additional duties, including the captain or managers. Using the KNOX system in the CM ship management fleet gives you the opportunity to perform an infinite number of tests and ensures the availability of unlimited monitoring and control of the crew's sobriety. This very accurate measuring device is not only able to detect even the minimum amount of alcohol in the exhaled air, but what is also important, it signals a problem and immediately informs managers in the event that it occurs. The data is sent to the server in the cloud in real time via the internet, which enables 24/7 control. This undoubtedly affects the safety of the crew, but also the safety performance of the entire company. The automatically sent cumulative daily report is an additional tool enabling quick checks and taking appropriate action in the event of detection of alcohol consumption on board the ship. The personnel department can easily compare the data and draw the appropriate conclusions.
Okay, that was the introduction video. So as you could see, the solution, because it says that can be only talked to as a whole, comprises of 2 elements. First one is the software in the cloud that aggregates all the data, keeps the crew lists on the all the particular vessels, as well as the testing schedule inside the cloud, and the testing units that are delivered onto the vessels that perform those specific operations in order to keep all the information in the cloud up to date. So this cannot be compared to a handheld single device, because it works as a complete solution, as a system. As you can see, the vessel unit was designed with the cooperation of many of our clients for the last years in the CNC industry, and was designed with the principles that are for the electronics in the military. So it's very robust and prepared for many years of usage, as well as it has easy replaceable sensors inside the device, in order not to have the necessity of sending the device back and forth for any kind of recalibration. And during the yearly tests, we can easily say that one sensor can handle up to 60,000 tests when they are negative, without the necessity of calibration within that number. So this gives a good opportunity to raise the quantity of testing on board. Regarding the cloud access, everything is stored in the cloud provided by Microsoft, so it's extremely reliable support from their side. We also designed it with all the GDPR compliance in mind as well, so you don't have to worry about that. And regarding the data that are stored inside, you can easily check them as all the time as they are flowing directly from the vessels. Or if you are a manager that are not maybe really keen to logging into something particular, we can add your address into the cloud, and according to the schedule, either daily, weekly, or monthly, you will get your report on the vessels of your interest. So it makes the data available for each and every person in the company to check. So how does this system address the design principles that I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation? First of all, this device introduces the full democracy regarding the sobriety checks, because no matter the rank you have to blow, and as well when there are office visitors from the company, in order to show that they are also obliged to handle this procedure, they are in the device and blow as well, and all the crew members have to blow twice a day. Regarding this frequency, this makes actually it impossible to pass when you are a heavy drinker or have this alcohol problem as a person. You actually the next day for you is something that will easily detect that such a consumption was made. And as well, all the omissions, if you don't pass the test or try to skip it, it will be indicated in the report for the managers and captain to ask the reasons why you are doing, and if it repeats, you will have the disciplinary steps taken. And simplicity of this solution, the test takes less than 30 seconds, does not require any kind of supervision from any other person, so does not affect the duties of people on board. As I mentioned before, sensors are really easily replaceable inside the unit, and the device allows you to work all the time, 24 hours a day, throughout the year, and no matter the conditions outside, because when the internet connection is down as well, it will store all the results inside and synchronize them as soon as the connection is back on track. This gives us a very good reliability so far. So just to give you a short impression of the safety that we provide on board, when we compare only the CM fleet that comprised of 19 vessels at the first step, normal testing was closed in around 3,500 to 3,600 tests per year when they did it on a telephone or port side test basis. And right now, when we closed the first year of usage, 12 months of usage, we closed it at a nearly 315,000 tests performed. Right now, their number is closer to 360,000, and as well we have introduced a new fleet to our system, and so that the number of vessels total in the KNOX fleet is around 70. Here you can see the short map only of the CM, just to indicate that our device can work well in all latitudes and longitudes that the client may desire. So that was the brief introduction from my side, and right now I am kindly awaiting your impressions and questions. We are open for discussions together with Kuba.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Martin. Yes, I did receive some questions already. And please, by all means, talking to our members now, if you've got any question, put your hand up and ask. So very first one was, what about drugs? We usually perform drug and alcohol tests. How capable is your system, please?
Okay, regarding the drug controlling, right now there is not a single piece of hardware that was found reliable and solution for any kind of daily testing. Thus, we cannot add such a feature to this device as it is right now, but we are closely monitoring the developments that are happening in few universities throughout the world regarding drug testing through a breathalyzer solution, because we do not wish to use any kind of saliva samples or urine, because that would make this device way too complicated at first, way too expensive, and would also pose a huge risk regarding hygiene and maintenance of the device. So please note that if whenever possible we will also introduce this to this device, but right now it's not capable of doing so.
Very good, thank you. Obviously, when I saw it first time, something like a month ago, I was completely blown away, and to be perfectly honest, very upset with the way we are now monitoring every individual. But it does appeal to me. Then really, if you do have a problem as a shipmaster, you don't necessarily always have guts to go against your colleagues. With this procedure, you've got no choice, and in a way, it's pretty good because it takes all the burden away from you. But what's the business model for us ship managers? If we say, yes, I like your system, I like to buy into it. Are we buying a unit and that's it? Or are we renting it? Are we paying you some sort of money for monthly, daily, and so on and so forth? Could you explain what do you suggest? What is your plan?
Yes, that's what we do. We do it on a rental basis agreement. It's either a 2-year contract or a 4-year contract, and basically we rent the unit per price per month, and it goes as high from 1,200 euros per month, and depending on the amount of vessels that are in the fleet, then we are discussing the pricing basically. But answering your question fast, is a rental agreement. We do not sell the unit at all, because it's connected to the platform, and we have our IT department to take care of any issues that might happen 24/7. So is everything connected with the unit itself, and you don't worry about having, as Adam said in the presentation, about changing the sensors or calibrating. We are taking care of that as well. And now, just to give you information, after a 2-year contract, we are just re-signing a new contract for another 5 years with another vessel owner. So it moves really the good way, and it actually helps to improve the safety of the entire company and the vessel. It's not about not trusting your people. It's more about having a solution of a prevention, alcohol prevention on your vessels, and to show to your client that you're up to date also. It's not saying that you do not trust your people. It's just a safety solution.
Do your units have some sort of a self-monitoring? Do they report back to you that they are low on some components? How would you know then it is just about to die? And are you sending things to the vessel in 2 months advance or something? That's the concern for us.
Okay, let me answer that question briefly. The device has internal diagnostic logs that are sent daily to our cloud, so we at each and every moment we can dig into that information and look if for any discrepancies regarding the accuracy or regarding the network performance of the device. And if the number of positive tests rises up to the level that we need to change the sensor prior to 12 months of usage, as it is normally replaced, we will inform the ship prior to that situation. If they are somewhere far away, that they have a spare sensor with them that also provides them a reliable solution whenever there is a sabotage on board, when someone pours alcohol as for a joke or maybe as on purpose, they can replace the sensor inside the device within 4 to 6 minutes. If they use both hands, that's an easy operation, and the sensor will be sent to the next port of convenience for such a delivery.
Okay. I think, yeah, there is another question. Unit availability. If one of our fleet managers decided to buy, well, sorry, rent from you 70 for all the ships, for example, will you be able to provide 70 next Monday?
Not next Monday. We usually do that up to 16 weeks in that amount, and this is how our contract is stated. So around 3 months, we deliver as many as is required, but takes time to calibrate everything for the exact vessel, not only the hardware itself, but also the platform and the IT part. So it takes, in the contract, it's about 16 weeks to have it done. But having that said, we have done that faster before, but just to be on the safe side, 16 weeks.
And I will also add just one sentence to that answer of Martin regarding the electronic situation and the electronic chip shortage. We cannot, take blame for the suppliers that sometimes take time to provide us with the components. So it would be way safer for us to say we can do it within the 3 months and then ship it to you within a month and a half, for example. Otherwise, if we will promise you next Monday and then we'll keep you nervous for the next 1 month, would not look good for neither of us.
That's good point. Good point indeed. Okay, I've got no further questions on my list. Nobody sent anything else. So anybody from the floor? Do we have anybody? No, my board stays black. No yellow hands. Therefore,
well, I can't find my yellow hand, but if I may just, I was disconnected for 2 minutes. What about certification for oil majors?
Let me answer this. As we are the first one in the world to provide a solution, we're now certified, trying to get certified by DNV. That might end by the Q1 this year, but we did not look at the oil major certification directly to this device, as we definitely don't know where to approach and how to approach them with it, being it the only solution like that in the world yet. So it would be great to hear how we can move on forward that way as well.
And I think I can
because you must, because yeah, I think Kuba can help here.
Indeed, Frank, but it's very good question from yourself. If there is an interest, then I'm pretty sure we can help Martin to do the presentation to Okim as well. So Martin, we need to stay in touch, and if you are really interested in that, then ask us and we will help. But as you can see, Frank is right. It is, especially on the tankers, might be. I'm not, well, yeah, once they start seeing you guys, then they will be asking us a question. How do you know it is true? How do you know that it is calibrated and so on and so forth? So we need to assure all of this. Thanks, Frank, for that.
Yeah, and the other point here is a cost issue, because as long as the system is not really certified, I will have to do the obligatory oil major drug and alcohol tests, which also cost a handful of money. So and this is where exactly I find the trouble in my company, trying to introduce this system, they say, no, but we have to do the other one as well. So this costs me additional money. So it's a nice to have thing, but it doesn't really give any, you know, how to say, statutory value for the organizations.
Yeah, I got your point. In a way that we look at it is, if you look at your safety, definitely you can afford it. If you look at it at the way that it's an additional nice to have feature, then without the certification, you got a point there. So as I said, we are definitely keen on moving this forward to get that done as a, I would say, spare solution, as an additional solution with certifications as mentioned.
Yeah, and let me just add one thing right now, as this device is not mandatory by by any kind of regulation. This also allows the users of the system to indicate to their customers that they are really showing something way ahead of its times to shine on this market, because whenever it will be a mandatory solution required by any kind of organization, then it you know, everyone will have it basically. And right now these are probably one of the last moments that whenever a customer is interested to show something extra, they can use the surprise factor to their customers to show their dedication to safety.
Okay, very good. Anybody else struggling with the yellow hands? No.
So off this idea.
What was that? Sorry, I missed that one. Frank, is it you again? No. Okay, gents, thank you very much. That's all from you then. If I could have my screen back, thank you. That's good stuff. Okay, now that's all presentation-wise for today. Now opening the floor for any other issues, any other business. Is there anybody who would like to share something with others, or do you have any homework for me for next time? No. That's good, thank you. Therefore, the guillotine is coming down. Thank you very much for today's meeting. Watch out for the messages from me. As I promised, there will be quite a number of them coming. And obviously next Wednesday, you will see agenda for the next meeting, which will be now on the 2nd, if I'm right. Yeah, 2nd of February. And it will be all about the whistleblowing. So have a good end of the weekend. Well, it's still 2 days to go. I'm racing ahead myself. Claude is already laughing. Yeah, sorry, Thursday and Friday ahead of us. But anyhow, guys, thank you very much. And Martin and Adam, thank you. And stay in touch, because we need to talk if you want to move on with the OCIMF and so on. Thank you. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.